Hello and welcome once again to the Working Tools, the podcast where we explore the timeless symbols, lessons, and journeys within Freemasonry, one symbol, one idea, and one meaningful conversation at a time. I am your host, Worshipful brother and e-comp Stephen Nagy. And today, we are going to be exploring something foundational, yet often misunderstood in Masonic life. And that is learning ritual. It's a phrase we hear so often from candidates and newer brethren. How do I learn the words? What if I get it wrong? Why is it so important to memorize this anyway? And they're all good questions. Because learning ritual isn't just about memory. It's about meaning. It's about forming a connection to something timeless, something sacred. So today, we're going to take our time and really unpack what it means to learn Masonic ritual. Not just how to do it, but why we do it. Now, let's dive straight in and see where this takes us. Now, we have the nature of the ritual itself. Now, ritual is the lifeblood of Freemasonry. It's how we communicate ideas, how we pass on tradition, how we build ourselves. You see, ritual isn't like an instruction manual or a checklist. It's not just a set of directions. It's a living transmission, an oral tradition passed from brother to brother, lodge to lodge, and generation to generation. Every line of the ritual, every gesture, every pause. See what I did there? It's designed to move us. It appeals to our senses, our emotions, and our intellect all at once. Now, when you stand in lodge and you hear the ritual spoken well, from the heart, it's like something ancient wakes up inside of you. That's the power of ritual. And when you begin to learn it for yourself, you become a part of that transmission. You don't just say the words, you carry them, you embody them. Now, let's be honest. For most of us, learning ritual can be intimidating at first. And how do we overcome the fear? And I've seen this in the eyes of many a brother. Nervous, hands sweating, stumbling over words they practiced 50 times the night before, or even more. That fear is natural. It's not just about forgetting a line. It's about being vulnerable, about standing before your peers, representing the craft and feeling the weight of tradition on your shoulders. But let me tell you this, brother, you don't need to be perfect. Ritual is not a performance, it's a devotion. And there's a beautiful humility in trying your best. Every brother who has ever stood in your place has stumbled. What matters is the effort, the sincerity, the growth. Now, the tools of learning. Let's talk about how to learn ritual. I came across a very interesting book. It was called Learning Masonic Ritual, and the author's name was Rick Smith. I found it to be an invaluable resource, and I want to share some of the key techniques that can turn memorization into mastery. Now, we all have our own means and methods and ways that we do, learn our ritual. But sometimes a proven formula or a technique can guide us. Now, one of the first things I'd like to look at is breaking the ritual down. Don't try to learn an entire charge in one sitting. Break the passage into small, manageable chunks. Learn each one until it flows smoothly. Then link them together, like building blocks, Start with just one paragraph, even one line. Mastery is built piece by piece. Now, understand the meaning. This is crucial. Don't just recite, reflect. Ask yourself, what is this section really saying? Why is this phrase used? What lesson is hidden in this language? The more you understand, the easier the words settle into your mind. Meaning creates memory. Now, one of the things I kind of swear by is speaking it out aloud. Reading silently is useful, but speaking the words aloud embeds them differently. It teaches your tongue and your breath to work together. The ritual begins to take on its natural rhythm and cadence. Repetition, and repetition over time. Avoid cramming in the night before. Like when we was at school and we had a test the next day. Use spaced repetition, a little each day. Ritual isn't a sprint, it's a steady climb. And if you make it part of your daily routine, even just 5 minutes, it becomes second nature. Try using visual anchors. Picture the scene. Picture yourself in lodge. Picture the working tools in your hands. Engage your imagination, because what you picture, you remember. Now, one other technique that I absolutely swear by, and this one actually came to me more recently, but recording myself. I think this one's a hidden gem. Record yourself reciting a section and then play it back during your commute or your walk or in your quiet time. Hearing your own voice reciting the words reinforces your memory more than you think. Now, what's the deeper purpose in all of this? Why do we go to all of this trouble? Ritual is more than form. It's form with purpose. When you learn Masonic ritual, you're not just memorizing, you're transforming. And that transformation ties into the core values we've explored throughout this podcast. Things like discipline, the steady, patient work of learning, understanding, the grasp of the meaning behind those words, growth, the personal evolution the ritual invites in every Mason, and brotherhood, the shared experience that connects us all in the craft. Let me offer this thought. Every time we speak ritual from the heart, we light a small flame, not just in ourselves, but in others who hear it. That light carries, it builds, it elevates. You never know who you might inspire, be it a young entered apprentice hearing his first lecture, a visiting brother reminded of his first degree, or even a past master who rediscovers wonder in familiar words. That's the beauty of Masonic ritual. Its power never fades. If we allow it to live in us, it burns strong. Now, wisdom from the lodge. I want to share something from personal experience, something that took me a while to understand, years. And that is, ritual reveals more over time. You might think you know a charge or a lecture, but come back to it a year later or 5 years later, and suddenly something new leaps out. A line hits differently. A phrase speaks to a part of you that's grown since the last time you read it. That's the hallmark of wisdom. It deepens the more we return to it. So never stop learning. Never stop exploring the words. Even if you've delivered the tracing board a dozen times, find the 13th. There's always more. Now, some final reflections. If you're listening to this and thinking, I'm not good at memorizing, let me say this clearly. You don't have to be good at it to be committed to it. Effort matters more than perfection. Passion speaks louder than polish. When you commit to learning ritual, you are making a sacred investment in yourself, in your lodge, and in the living heritage of Freemasonry. So, brother, take that first step, open that book, recite one line, ask for help, learn with others, reflect on the meaning, and above all, keep going. Because this isn't just learning words. This is learning yourself. I'd like to thank you for being here with me today for this special episode of The Working Tools. Now, if this episode has resonated with you, share it with your lodge, talk about it in your next LOI or rehearsal, or send it to a brother who might need a little encouragement. Until next time, keep your working tools close, your square, your compass, and your spirit, and don't forget your ritual book, and keep building the man you wish to become. The working tools are in your hands. What will you build?